All right, so get this. Scientists in the Amazon, they had to bundle up in June.
In June?
Yeah, in June.
Wow.
We're diving into this article called The Day the Amazon Froze.
Okay.
And it's from source name.
Right.
It was published February 3rd, 2025.
Okay.
And it details research from the Peruvian Amazon.
Wow.
And it's pretty remote. We're talking like a 14-hour boat trip.
Oh, wow.
To a research station called Los Amigos.
14 hours. That's pretty isolated.
Yeah.
That's great for research, though.
Yeah.
Because it means you're really studying a part of the rainforest that's like untouched.
Yeah, exactly. And so today we're going to uncover how this unexpected cold snap affected the Amazon's diverse creatures.
Okay.
And what this might mean for the future of this vital ecosystem.
Yeah.
So are you ready to explore a frozen rainforest?
I'm ready.
All right, so picture this.
Okay.
It's June 2023, usually a warm and humid time in the Amazon.
Right.
But suddenly the temperature plunges from a pleasant 23.9 degrees Celsius, that's about 75 degrees Fahrenheit,
Okay.
down to a frigid 10.5 degrees Celsius,
Her.
or 51 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
And it stayed that cold
Really?
for almost a week.
A whole week?
A whole week.
Oh, my goodness.
While the researchers were caught off guard, the local field assistants weren't too surprised.
Oh, really?
Apparently, these cold snaps, while not always this intense,
Right.
do happen from time to time.
So they're used to it.
Yeah, so it's a good reminder that what we might consider unusual or extreme
Yeah.
can actually be part of the natural variation in an ecosystem.
That's a good point.
So this study is particularly fascinating because it's the first one to examine how these cold waves affect Amazonian wildlife.
Interesting.
Previous research focused mainly on agriculture.
Oh, okay.
So this fills a crucial gap in our understanding of how the Amazon's ecosystem responds to these events.
That makes sense. So it's a big step forward
Yeah.
in understanding like the bigger picture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The researchers focused specifically on insects and mammals during this cold snap.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they play different roles,
Yeah.
in the rainforest balance.
Exactly.
And they represent like a wide range of life there.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start with the insects.
Okay.
The study found that insect biomass and activity
Okay.
drastically decreased during the cold snap.
So they just like
They basically went into slow motion.
slowed down.
Yeah, slowed way down.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You see, insects are ectotherms.
Okay.
And that means they're like little solar panels
Yeah.
relying on the environment
Right.
to regulate their body temperature.
Right.
So like a sudden drop in temperature, can significantly impact their energy
Right.
and how active they are.
And this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Dung beetles, even after the cold wave passed,
Uh-huh.
continued to have low biomass.
Oh, wow.
This tells us they're much more sensitive to cold.
Interesting than other insects. Now that's a discovery
Yeah.
worth paying attention to.
Yeah.
It suggests that, within an ecosystem,
Right.
certain species might be particularly vulnerable
Right.
to these temperature changes, even if the overall ecosystem seems to like bounce back.
Right. And to further examine this cold sensitivity,
Okay.
the researchers conducted a cold tolerance experiment.
A cold tolerance experiment. Okay.
They wanted to determine the temperature at which different types of insects would become immobile.
Clever way to figure out their limits.
Yeah.
And what did they find?
Well, most insects actually tolerated temperatures even lower than the cold wave.
Okay.
But here's the catch.
Okay.
25% of the insects entered a state called torpor
Torpor.
at just 0.62 degrees Celsius below the cold wave's lowest point.
So torpor it's essentially a state of suspended animation,
Okay.
like hitting the pause button on their system.
Right.
And it can help them survive for a bit, but
Yeah.
if it lasts too long, imagine being stuck in a deep sleep for days, unable to eat or escape danger.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's like for these insects.
Right.
Not a great scenario for survival.
No, not at all. Now let's shift gears to the mammals.
Okay.
Unlike those solar-powered insects,
Right.
mammals are endotherms.
Okay.
They have their own internal furnaces
Right.
and can regulate their own body temperature.
Yeah.
So they weren't as obviously affected by the cold.
Right. They've got their own systems
Yeah.
to give them an advantage.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they were completely immune.
Right. The researchers noticed a significant decrease in mammal activity
Okay.
on their camera traps
Uh-huh.
during the cold spell.
Okay.
It seems they were trying to conserve energy by hunkering down
That's a logical response.
Yeah.
Staying warm in a cold environment uses up a lot of energy.
Right.
So by, reducing their activity, even slowing down their metabolism, they can cope with those challenging conditions.
So it paints a picture of a suddenly quiet rainforest.
A quiet rainforest.
Even the usually active jaguars
Really?
decided to take a break.
It's a fascinating image, isn't it? This normally bustling rainforest suddenly becomes still and silent as its inhabitants adjust to this unexpected cold.
Yeah, exactly. But the good news is that once the cold wave passed, the mammals returned to their normal routines.
Okay.
They showed resilience in the face of this temporary challenge.
That's encouraging.
Yeah.
It suggests that, at least to this particular cold snap,
right,
these mammal populations seem to be adaptable.
Right. This all leads to a bigger and frankly more concerning question.
Okay.
Climate change.
Right. That's the core issue here.
Yeah.
This study is not just about a one-off event.
Right.
It's a glimpse into how these cold snaps, which could become more frequent and intense with climate change,
right,
could impact the Amazon as a whole.
Well, the article mentions that while cold waves are relatively common in the Amazon, we don't fully grasp their cycle or causes.
Right. There's still so much we don't know about these cold air masses that sweep up from Antarctica and cause these dramatic temperature drops.
So the question becomes, what does this mean for the future of the Amazon?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
While this study offers, valuable insights, it also highlights how much more we need to learn about the long-term impacts of these events, especially if they become more extreme as the climate changes.
It seems both insects and mammals showed some resilience. Yeah. But the insects, particularly those dung beetles, appeared to be more vulnerable.
And here's why that vulnerability is so important.
Okay.
Dung beetles are essential for nutrient cycling in the rainforest.
Yeah.
They break down organic matter, essentially turning waste into valuable nutrients that benefit plants and indirectly the entire ecosystem.
So they're like the unsung heroes of the rainforest, working diligently behind the scenes to keep everything running smoothly.
Imagine the rainforest as a giant compost pile.
Okay.
Dung beetles are the busy workers who keep everything turning waste into valuable nutrients.
Right. So if their numbers decline, it could disrupt that delicate balance of the rainforest and impact its overall health.
Absolutely.
It really highlights how interconnected everything is in this incredible ecosystem.
It is.
Even a seemingly isolated event like a cold snap can have far-reaching consequences.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why this research is so important. It's a reminder that even in a place as seemingly timeless as the Amazon rainforest, change is constant.
Yeah.
And understanding how life adapts or struggles to adapt is more crucial now than ever before.
This has been an eye-opening look.
It has.
Into the unexpected world of a frozen Amazon.
Yeah.
Stick with us for part 2 of this deep dive, where we'll explore the implications of this research in even greater detail.
Sounds good. Welcome back to our deep dive into the Amazon.
Yeah, where even in June, you might need a jacket.
That's right. That's right.
We've uncovered some incredible insights into how those rainforest inhabitants, the insects and the mammals, handled that week-long cold snap back in June 2023.
Absolutely. And as we go deeper, we're going to challenge some assumptions about this iconic rainforest. Get ready for some surprises.
I'm ready. So we left off talking about how climate change could make these cold snaps more frequent and intense.
Right.
What are the biggest risks you see based on this research?
Well, one major concern is that these, more frequent or extreme cold snaps could push certain species beyond their ability to adapt.
Okay.
Particularly those we've already identified as being more vulnerable.
Like our dung beetle friends.
Yes, exactly.
Who seem to be particularly sensitive to the cold.
If these cold snaps become the new normal, it could lead to a decline in these sensitive species.
Okay.
And that could have, cascading effects throughout the entire food web.
So let's play that out.
Right.
What happens to the rainforest if dung beetle populations decline significantly?
Well, you have to understand, dung beetles are crucial for nutrient cycling.
Okay.
They break down dung,
right,
which releases nutrients back into the soil.
Okay.
This This benefits plants directly.
Okay.
And indirectly all the other animals that rely on those plants.
It's amazing how such a small creature can have such a significant impact on the entire rainforest.
They're essential workers.
Yeah.
Keeping the system running.
The article also pointed out that we still don't fully understand the patterns and causes of these Amazonian cold waves.
Yeah.
Why is that lack of knowledge a problem?
Well, if we don't know what drives these events, it becomes much harder to predict when they might occur.
Okay.
And how intense they might be.
Right.
It's a bit like trying to prepare for a storm without knowing which direction it's coming from or how strong the winds will be.
That lack of predictability must make it difficult to develop effective conservation strategies. Exactly. How do you protect something when you don't know when or how the threat will strike?
Exactly. Yeah.
It makes it a much more challenging task.
It does.
So what kind of research do we need to fill these knowledge gaps?
We need long-term monitoring of the temperature patterns in the Amazon.
Okay.
We need to track how these temperatures fluctuate over time and get a better understanding of the bigger picture.
Right. And of course, we need to study how different species respond to these temperature changes.
Absolutely, yeah.
More boots on the ground.
Yeah, more boots on the ground.
Observing and collecting data.
That's right.
On those fascinating creatures.
It's a multifaceted approach.
Okay.
We also need to invest in climate modeling. By using, sophisticated models, we can start to understand how climate change might be, influencing these cold waves. We might be able to predict, how often they'll occur and how severe they might become in the future.
That kind of predictive modeling could be incredibly helpful.
Oh, absolutely.
For conservation efforts.
Yeah.
If we can anticipate these events, perhaps we can start to think about mitigating their impacts.
Right.
Either by protecting habitats or by developing, targeted interventions to help those vulnerable species.
Having that foresight could be a game changer.
Yeah.
For conservation.
This all sounds incredibly complex.
It is.
Yeah.
The Amazon rainforest is one of the most biodiverse and complex ecosystems on the planet.
Right.
Trying to understand how it responds to these climate-driven changes is a huge task.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely vital that we do so.
It seems like the fate of the Amazon is intertwined.
It is.
With the health of our planet.
Absolutely.
It's not just a scientific endeavor to understand these mysteries.
Right.
It's crucial for all of us.
You're right. The Amazon plays a vital role in regulating the global climate.
Right.
And it's incredible. Biodiversity is a treasure we can't afford to lose.
Right.
Understanding how to protect this ecosystem is essential to the well-being of our entire planet.
So where do we go from here?
Yeah.
We've explored the science and the complexities of the Amazon's response to these cold snaps.
Right.
What can we as individuals do to help protect this vital ecosystem in the face of these challenges?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And one we'll explore in more detail in the final part of our deep dive into the Amazon.
Okay.
We'll discuss the broader implications of this research.
Right.
And what steps you can take to make a real difference.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into the Amazon.
Yes.
We've uncovered some surprising truths about the rainforest's vulnerability to cold snaps.
Right.
And explored the complexities of climate change's impact on this vital ecosystem.
It is a vital ecosystem.
It is.
We've seen how even small temperature shifts can have ripple effects throughout the rainforest.
Yeah.
Especially for those sensitive insect species.
Right.
Like the dung beetles.
Like our dung beetle friends.
Exactly.
And we've learned about the urgent need for further research to help us understand the complexities of these cold waves and their long-term consequences.
We need to learn more. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, but knowledge is power.
It is.
So now let's shift gears and focus on what we can do as individuals to protect this incredible ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the scale of the challenge.
Absolutely.
But even small actions can make a difference.
That's right.
So give us some concrete examples.
Sure.
What can our listeners actually do to help?
Well, one of the most impactful actions you can take is supporting organizations.
Okay.
Working on the front lines of Amazon conservation.
Yeah.
There are numerous groups dedicated to protecting the rainforest.
Right.
Studying its incredible biodiversity.
Yeah.
And advocating for sustainable policies that can help protect this valuable ecosystem.
So putting your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Donating to a reputable conservation organization is a great first step.
It's a great first step, absolutely.
What about our everyday choices?
Yeah.
Can those make a difference too?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Being mindful of your consumption habits is another powerful way to contribute.
Okay.
Reducing your reliance on products that contribute to deforestation can lessen the pressure on the Amazon.
Okay.
This includes, being more aware of the wood and paper products you buy.
Right.
As well as understanding, which products contain palm oil.
Right.
And opting for sustainably sourced alternatives whenever possible.
So it's about reading labels carefully.
Yeah.
And making informed choices that support sustainable practices.
Exactly.
That feels manageable.
It is. It's about being a conscious consumer.
Right.
Understanding that our choices have an impact.
And don't underestimate the power of raising awareness.
Absolutely.
Talking to friends and family about the importance of the Amazon.
Yeah.
Sharing informative articles, documentaries. Even this deep dive we're doing right now can help spread the word and inspire others to take action.
Absolutely. Knowledge is contagious.
It is.
The more people understand the interconnectedness of our planet.
Right.
And how our actions impact even seemingly distant places like the Amazon.
Right.
The more likely we are to create positive change.
Exactly. And remember, advocating for change at a larger scale is crucial as well.
Yes, yes.
Contact your elected officials,
Right.
Support policies that address climate change, and demand action from companies that are contributing to deforestation.
Right.
So donate, consume consciously, raise awareness, and advocate for change.
Advocate for change.
Got it. What else can we do to help?
This may sound cliche.
Okay.
But never underestimate the power of connecting with nature.
Oh, okay.
Even if you can't visit the Amazon rainforest itself,
right.
Spending time in your local park, a nearby forest, or even just your backyard can foster a deeper appreciation for the natural world and inspire you to protect it.
That's a beautiful sentiment. Yeah. It's easy to get caught up in the negative news about the environment.
Yeah.
And lose sight of the simple joy and wonder of nature.
Absolutely.
We need that connection to fuel our passion for conservation.
It's that sense of wonder and connection that empowers us.
Right. To make a difference.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the day the Amazon froze, let's remember that while the challenges facing the Amazon are real.
Yes, they are.
And significant.
They are significant.
So is our capacity to make a difference?
Absolutely. We've learned that even a seemingly invincible rainforest like the Amazon is vulnerable.
It is.
But we've also learned that we have the power to take action and protect it.
Right.
By combining knowledge, awareness, and a commitment to change.
Yeah.
We can help safeguard this incredible ecosystem for generations to come.
We've only scratched the surface.
We have.
This fascinating topic.
Yeah.
And we encourage you to continue exploring and learning.
Yes.
Stay curious, stay engaged, and never stop asking questions.
That's right.
The Amazon needs our attention.
It does.
And our action, but it also offers us incredible beauty.
Right.
And a chance to connect with the wonders of our natural world.
That's right.
Let's cherish this precious ecosystem.
Yeah.
And work together to ensure its survival. Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yes, thank you.
We hope you found it informative and inspiring.
I hope so too.
Remember, even small actions can contribute to positive change.
That's right.
So get out there and make a difference.